Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to our essay writing and presentation skills class. We are back again with our lecture number 4, that is about the writing process, and we are going to talk about the writing process in detail. Before doing that, let's quickly recap what we have done in the previous lecture so far. In the previous lecture, we have talked about some writing styles. They were formal and informal that we have discussed thoroughly. We have also seen the differences between how formal writing was different from the informal writing. Then we also discussed some of the techniques and strategies of how you can make your writing effective, how you can write efficiently, and how you can produce different kinds of papers in different ways. In which we also talked about the conciseness, the coordination and subordination clauses, and then we also talked about the parallel structures that goes to one objective to make your writing go to one goal and achieve one goal thoroughly. Then we also had one writing exercise that was a painting of Van Gogh, in which you were supposed to attempt your assignment number 1. The good news for you is that that assignment wasn't marked because that was your pre-assignment stage. Now you were in a process of looking on each and everything, and I kept on describing each and everything to you because I wanted you to make your first assignment that was not marked, your pre-assignment, very well, because this is the only way you can work on your upcoming assignments which are going to be marked, and you are going to perform in the best way. So that was a quick recap of what we have done in our previous lecture, which was about the different writing styles, and I hope you have learned a lot. And in today's lecture I will make sure that you are going to learn the writing process in detail also. To begin with, during our review of the writing process, make sure to keep your work organized in your writing folder. So once you are listening to me, once you keep listening to and attached to me while looking at me and while looking at the slides and going through the slides, make sure that you are going to jot down all the information that I am telling you on your register, on a piece of paper, or in your writing folder. Only in this way you would be able to produce good essays and good essays writing material. Now today we are going to talk about the 3 writing stages. Writing is not something that happens randomly or that happens at once. Writing is something which follows a proper sequence or which follows a proper process. Now the first stage of writing is pre-writing, that is before writing stage, that we are going to discuss in detail, that how it happens and what are the ways and what are the strategies of doing that. Secondly, we will talk about the writing stage, in which we will thoroughly talk about the drafting, the editing, and then the reviewing of the draft, and then the rewriting stage, where how to give the final or the finishing touches to your work. The way, you know, when once you invite someone at your place and you try your level best to make everything organized, this is that stage that once you are done with your table preparation for a dinner, you see that if there is anything left on the table to be, you know, added in. So this is how we are going to see our papers too, our essay or academic writing papers too. And only in this way we would be able to see that how in which things are there already, in which things we are supposed to insert more. Then we are also going to take help of some exercises which are going to help you overcome all the barriers that you have during following this process in essay writing. So let's begin our today's lecture, that is about the 3 stages of writing process. The first one, as I said, is pre-writing. Now pre is something that happens before doing something. Now if we say that writing is a stage and we are going to do something before that, it means that we are planning in our mind that what steps are we supposed to take while we start or while we, you know, actually think of writing something. So this is your planning stage, which we are going to see and we are going to discuss in detail, and I hope you are going to learn a lot during this lecture, because this lecture is the one which is going to help you write all the types of essays in detail. So we will make sure that we are going to stick to this lecture and study each and every material in detail, so that you don't have any confusion once you want to pick up any strategy or any technique for your writing material. Second step of your writing process is your writing. Writing usually has got the drafting stage. You make different drafts to perform your writing or to develop a piece of paper. Then you edit it and then you revise it. How do you do that? This is what we are going to see in our upcoming slides. Then the third stage is your rewriting. That is your finishing. As I said earlier, that once you are preparing bride for her wedding, it happens that the makeup artist, he or she looks at the bride from every angle and from every aspect. Once she is totally prepared, they look at every angle, that if there is any thing left, and they give her the finishing touches. They just refresh their makeup and everything like that. So these are the finishing touches that they have to give. Now if we apply the same theory on our writing paper, it will happen that once we are done with our final draft, that is the last draft of, or the revised draft of our writing material, any essay, we are going to see that we are going to reread that. Maybe you can reread it on your own. Maybe you can give it to someone else. Maybe you can give it to supervisor. Maybe you can give it to your teacher. The third party evaluation, the third person, the one who don't know anything about what you have written or what you wanted to write, they are going to suggest, and they are going to give you their valuable feedback, that what is missing in it, what do you need to add in it, and what extra things they believe that you should add in them. So this is how you are going to follow this writing process, and we are going to discuss each and everything in greater detail. Now to begin with, we will start with the pre-writing stage. Alright, to begin with, now we will start with pre-writing. That is to unearth your ideas, or to dig out your ideas from the earth. Now what is that earth? That is something that is your brain. Now you are going to see that which ideas you are going to dig out from your brain, and which ideas you are going to float on the piece of paper. Now how do you do that? This is what we are going to decide during our pre-writing process, and I am going to share with you some of the strategies and techniques through which you can write a very smart material. Now there is no need to think about the order or the correctness. Now during your pre-writing stage, the first rule to remember is that you are not going to think about any chronological order or any organization of your paper. Why? Because the thoughts, they come in your mind randomly. Now you are not going to worry about that this idea should come in the end and this idea should come in the beginning. You are going to jot down each and every point that comes in your mind on the piece of paper, because your objective is to produce as many ideas as you can. You cannot stop your thoughts at one place, and you cannot hinder your thoughts on one stage. So what you are supposed to do is keep writing, because the ideas are coming in your mind and you need to float them on the piece of paper. You want to get as many ideas as you can, as to make sure that you are going to write a very good collection of words, a very good collection of the ideas, your central thoughts, on the piece of paper. Now how do you do that? This is pre-writing is, remember, the first stage of writing process in your time discovery. You unearth your ideas, or you dig out your ideas. Pre-writing can condense swirling mists of thoughts into words on paper. Now thoughts are coming in your mind, and they are swirling, and they are winding, like moving in your mind, and you want to write out every possible thing that is coming in your mind. So you don't have to worry about that. Whatsoever is coming in your mind that you find relevant to the topic that you have been assigned to write on, you are going to write that on the piece of paper, not worrying about the organization or the sequencing of that very pre-writing stage. You uncover raw material to shape and polish later. Now your pre-writing stage is kind of a raw material that you dig out from somewhere. Anything that is in a raw shape, that you are going to polish and shape later. Once you will shape it, and then you will later you will polish it. The way we make the sculptures, we put a lot of mud on the table, and then we that mud of the that a lot of mud is in the raw material that is there. That is your unearthing ideas, or that is your pre-writing stage. Then you try to shape it, that is your writing stage, and finally you want to polish it and put on different colors on it, that is your rewriting stage. So this is how we are going to divide all these three steps: in raw, in shaping, and finally in the polishing. Now there is no need of worrying about the order or the correctness. Now grammatical errors can also be there, spelling errors, grammatical errors, punctuation errors can also be there. You are not going to worry about that. We are going to see that how you can we are only concerned about that you gather as much ideas as you can for your piece of paper. Because your objective is to produce as many ideas as you can, and you can put them on the piece of paper so that you can perform in a very good way, and you can write a variety of ideas on the one piece of paper. Clear? Now should we move on? Let's move on to the next slide. Now you can see a very interesting slide display on my side, that is pre-writing techniques. These are some invention techniques that you can see on this paper, on this slide. The first one is free writing, in which keep on writing, that you write freely. You are not concerned about the order or the punctuation or the spelling or the grammar or anything. Your main idea or your main objective is to gather as much information related to the topic as much you can, because writing is something that requires a lot of imagination and a lot of ideas, not only your personal imagination but the factual description of the ideas that you have been assigned to write on. So the first technique that you can use while writing is free writing. Then sometimes you make clusters. Cluster, do you know how a cluster look like? That is the jumble, or that is a pack of different different clusters in one full jam pack. So different ideas join together to give you a one main cluster, that is one idea, and then the related ideas which are joined to that one main idea. Then brainstorming, maybe you can brainstorm alone, and you can take help of your friends, maybe you can take help of your parents or any other people who are available to help you write your piece of writing. So brainstorming has to do with only your personal skills. Other people can also be involved in your brainstorming process. Then sometimes you have list making in scratching the outline. Sometimes you take the help of making the outlines on the piece of paper. You divide your outline in 3 portions. That one we are going to have a thorough lecture on that. Essay writing is very easy while you make an outline for your essay. So you will get to know that how can you make different lists. Maybe you can insert some bullets in them, and maybe you can number it down. Then you can also keep a journal. Sometimes if you are interested in conducting any kind of a research, what do? That you keep your separate copy or a separate journal for that. And every information that you are getting from outsource, and maybe from internet, maybe from library, you keep on putting them into your journal, so that once you want to write anything on any interesting topic on that is of your interest, you can take help from your journal. Then questioning, you can also ask different people questions relevant to your topic, as well as you can also ask yourself questions and try to answer them and try to satisfy them. Also in your essays, we ask public questions to the audiences, whosoever is reading our paper, for their thought-provoking processes. Then sometimes a research work can also be very useful technique of the pre-writing. You can read already the researches that have been already done before, and then you can write them down on the piece of paper. Now let's discuss them one by one in detail. Now the first one that I had been talking about, the first invention technique of the pre-writing was free writing. Now what is a free writing? It is uncensored writing. As you can see on the slide as well, it is a kind of a uncensored writing. Now what is this uncensored writing? This is often in a form of a sentence. Now there is no grammatical structure for that. First of all, that free writing is coming in your mind and you are writing it. Now there are different sentences on a piece of paper. Some of them they are written in the past tense, some of them they are written in the future tense, future perfect tense, past perfect tense, present tense, or anything like that. So this is how your writing is uncensored, like that is not censored. You have everything there that you can see and you can look at. So free writing is something that has something to do with omitting some information from whatsoever you are writing on the piece of paper, or jotting it down, or writing it down, or you have to be careful about the grammatical or the punctuation errors. Then free writing enables anyone to start writing immediately. Now that's a very quick response that you can have while writing, because if you are asked to, let's say I ask you to write a note on education in Pakistan, or I ask you to write a essay on the rate of scholarships in Pakistan. Now you would quickly pick up your pen, and if I ask you to write freely, you would start writing. So this is how you write freely. Whether you pick up that strategy of writing in the form of a paragraph, or whether you pick up that strategy of writing in the form of bullets, numbering, or anything like that. There is no hard and fast rule for that you are going to write in the paragraphs while you are writing freely, or you are going to write in the bullets. To write free, just empty whatsoever bits and pieces of ideas are in your mind and onto the paper. Now every single information related to the topic, now remember, only related to the topic that is in your mind, you are going to transfer that or transmit that information on the piece of paper. That is how, and that is the only possible way how you can write freely. Clear? Now let's move on to the next technique of our pre-writing, that is brainstorming. That captures ideas as they flit by, either as words, phrases, or fragments. Now there is no hard and fast rule of that you are supposed to write a complete sentence. There can be words, they can be phrases, any relevant words that you think are related to the topic. Now essay writing is something where you try to make sure that you use such kind of words which are going to appeal to the logic of the people. So if you get any idea or any word in your mind, you try to put them on the piece of paper, so that on the later stage you are not going to, once you actually start writing your essay, you are not going to forget all those words. Then sometimes phrases related to the topic that you have, and sometimes the fragments that you have related to the topic that come in your mind. You can use this technique in a group or alone. As I said earlier, that brainstorming can be done in a group. Maybe you can do it with your friends, maybe you can do it in the pair, or maybe you can share it with the people whom you know in the society, and so on and so forth. So this is how you are going to brainstorm or unearth your ideas. The secret of success in brainstorming is to think fast. Now think as fast as you can to gather as many ideas as you can. Now once your teacher comes in the class, they ask you, okay, we are going to talk about this topic today. Let's take an example of speaking skills. Your teacher says that, all right, we are going to talk about speaking in the class today. What do you know about speaking? And all of you start commenting on, and all of you start giving your ideas on what speaking is and how are you supposed to do that. So this is how you unearth your ideas, and you brainstorm a lot of information that is coming from the different sources, and you put that or you give your valuable feedback to the class teacher, and she or he is going to write every information on the board. So this is how the brainstorming process is being done. And you can also do it single-handedly. You can brainstorm your ideas, whatsoever thoughts are related to the topic are coming in your mind, you quickly start writing them down on the piece of paper. In brainstorming, all ideas are respected and recorded. Now there is no idea that you think that is not very relevant and I should omit that. No, every idea should be respected and should be recorded down, should be written down on the piece of paper, no matter how wild it is. So no matter how wild and bold your ideas are, you are going to write each and everything that you feel is related to the topic on the your pre-writing paper. That is your brainstorming paper, that is your unearthing ideas paper, maybe that's your free writing paper. Now remember one thing, that paper on which you are writing or which you are using any kind of the technique, either that's going to be a free writing or that's going to be brainstorming or any other technique, invention technique that we are going to discuss in the upcoming slides, you are going to make sure that you are going to not discard that paper until you are going to done with your final writing. I will tell you how to do that. Now let's talk about list making and scratching outline on the computer. Now let's see, list making can be an advantage when you know so much about the topic you feel overwhelmed. So you are so excited about your topic, and you can also make the list of that this is what I'm going to write about this topic. Or sometimes it happens that in the class teacher comes and announces the topic that you are supposed to write on that, maybe a paragraph, maybe any essay. So there are a few students who like the topic, and they feel overwhelmed with it, and they immediately start jotting down their points in the form of outline. So this is how they list down all the information that they want to insert in their presentation, in their essay. The list often have no apparent order. Now list, as brainstorming and free writing, as we talked about them also, they don't have any order. When you start placing ideas in order, you are beginning a scratch outline. Now list making don't have any sequence or any numbering or any logical sequence of the order where initial thoughts are supposed to come first, then middle, and then the later thoughts. Once you start doing that this thought is supposed to come first and this thought is supposed to come second, in this way you have started scratching out your outline in one way. This is what we are going to talk about. We are going to have a thorough lecture on how to make an outline for your essay. This primitive outline. Now why are we calling it primitive? Because this is your primary outline, or this is your very that stage is beginnery stage. So you are in a beginning of your essay writing. So you are not going to there is no sticking to it, or you are not going to get worried about that. This primitive outline is simply a revised list that herds ideas into tentative order. Now this scratched outline, now we are talking about this scratched outline where you have numbered your ideas maybe, or maybe you have rewritten it. Now scratching, once you start scratching, that's also your tentative outline, because by the final stage, once you would be in your rewriting stage, there you would decide that how to which ideas to omit and which ideas to keep in your essay. So this is how you are going to make lists, and then order them to make them the scratch outlines. Now let's move on to our next unearthing ideas technique, that is questioning. To use questioning at its best, try projecting yourself into the role of the reporter. Now what does the reporter do? They ask questions. They ask different questions as to satisfy their query, as well as they keep in mind that people would be asking these kind of questions from this very person. So they try to satisfy their queries as well, because they are the representative of the whole social circle. Now once you will become the reporter, you will start asking questions, and you would start writing all those questions on a piece of paper. This will help you answer each and everything that is related to the topic, and then you can answer them, and you can have a very good essay prepared for yourself. Easy? Very easy. You are going to enjoy all the unearthing ideas and all the invention techniques as we will move on. What questions you could ask to elicit information from other people? Now what kind of the questions that you can ask yourself or other people to elicit information, or to recover the information from the other people? The traditional 5 W's and 1 H. H stands for how, and 5 W stands for what, where, when, who, and the fifth one was whom. So these all 5 W's and 1 H are supposed to be kept in mind once we are talking about the questioning techniques. Who, what, when, where, why, and how. So these are all the 5 W's and 1 H can be expanded to full-fledged questions. So you can answer all these questions and to satisfy your queries, and keeping in mind that what the outsider or the other people would be asking or would have in mind while you are preparing any kind of essay, what questions they can have in their minds. So let's move on to our next slide that talks about the full-fledged questions. As you can very well see, that's about 5 W's and 1 H. Who was involved? What happened? Now let's take an example of let's say a bomb blast, a very sad incident in our that is very, you know, that has become very common in Pakistan. Let's take the example of that. Now let's, you know, try to report that, and let's try to see every question that was happened. Now that will become your narrative essay, in other words. So you are telling a narration. Now how do you do that? Let's see. Who was involved? So this is what you are going to, you know, answer. Maybe a terrorist or something like that. What happened? So the bomb would have blasted at so and so time, and what's when did it happen? You are going to mention the time, the place, and where did it happen? You are going to mention the place. Why did it happen? So you are going to, you know, try to find out the reasons if you know any, and you can also ask others to satisfy their queries. How did it happen? What will be its effects? What can be learned? What is the subject, or like or unlike, or how has it changed over time? So you are going to answer all these questions, and you are going to, you know, satisfy your queries. Now this is the structure of the full-fledged questions that can be asked while you are, you know, using the questioning technique. Now the next idea of brainstorming is keeping a journal. Some instructors require that students keep a journal to store reactions to essays, fiction and poetry, or other ideas for writing. As I've described you earlier, the instructors, they require students to keep a record of the essays, fiction and poetry material that they know, and, you know, keep it aside in their journal. The journals are also useful for recording the observations, impressions and incidences when you conduct first-hand research. Now research is not anything that is very small, that is something that is very large, or that is very broad. So you are going to, you know, stick to some rules. So usually journals are kept while, you know, you want to gather as much information for your research, because research does not or is not conducted within a very short time. It takes a lot of time, and you have to, you know, study a lot. So you, whatsoever material you are studying, you can put that in your journal. Maybe that's online journal, or maybe that is your handmade journal. Now that we are done with our pre-writing stage, that was talking about the unearthing ideas techniques, the invention techniques, where you can, you know, unearth your ideas. Let's move on to our writing stage, where we are going to discuss how do you draft your paper, how do you edit your paper, and how do you revise your paper. Now good to go. Let's talk about the drafting stage. Now once you are done with your pre-writing stage, now leave that paper aside. Either you have chosen the technique of brainstorming, you have chosen the technique of questioning, or maybe free writing, maybe clustering or anything. The next step that you are supposed to do is to take a piece of paper and decide that, are my thoughts organized? Now if they are not organized on the first paper, that was your pre-writing paper, you are going to make sure that you are going to organize them on your second paper. Now you are going to also see that, do I stick with the same idea throughout my writing? Now this will help you see that which ideas you are supposed to keep from your pre-writing stage and to put them in your writing stage, and this is how you are going to move on with your writing process. Now, do I know what order I want to say things in? If you know of any order, or if you know of anything that you are supposed to write on the piece of paper, if you know of any order, that which things I have to talk early and which things I have to talk later, this is what you yourself are going to decide, that what information I should talk about early, and which information I should leave for the discussion portion, and I should leave for the end. So this is how you are going to, that depends on any topic that you are writing on. Now according to that very topic, you are going to decide that how you are going to organize your thoughts on the second piece of paper. Now drafting also calls that, did I skip lines? Now this allows room for yourself and others to make correction. Now during drafting, once you are picking up the information from your pre-writing material, maybe that is brainstorming, to another piece of paper, that is your writing stage. You are going to see that am I skipping lines within or am I leaving room for anyone to comment on, like some kind of a side space maybe, or maybe a footnote, or maybe a side note. So this will help you once you are going to give your draft number 1. Now we are doing our drafting. Now once you are going to give your draft number 1 to anyone, you are going to make sure that you are going to leave some space on the side of paper so that anyone can comment on that. If you see this slide, you would see that a lot of the portion is empty. Now this slide, on this slide, maybe if I want to take a review of anyone, or maybe if I want to take a comment from anyone can write easily on the maybe on the left hand side, or they have the portion below, that is the footnote, so they can write anywhere, and along with the comments that they wanted to or they want to add in. So you are supposed to leave or skip some lines for your supervisor or for your friends, or maybe the ones from whom you are taking this feedback. You are going to leave some lines for them to write something on. Did I label everything? That is headings or all page numbers. Now that you are making the first draft, you should know that once you have picked up all the information from your pre-writing and you have inserted that in your writing paper, now you are going to see that if you were supposed to insert any headings like the main essay heading, or maybe if there were any major headings or subheadings that you were supposed to insert, and then definitely the page numbers that you are supposed to insert in the footnote. So this is how you are going to see that did you label anything in your draft 1. Because your material is kind of ready to be sent to your supervisor or your teacher, so you are going to see all these things because you are making your draft number 1 that you think is complete, but that is not actually complete. Now let's move on to our editing stage. Have I used complete sentences? That all of my thoughts are complete. Now completing your sentences doesn't mean that they are grammatically complete. It means that your thoughts are complete as well. One sentence, as we will move on and we will talk about the paragraph structure, and then we will talk about the essay structure and how essays become complete and how paragraphs become complete. We would also see that how in one sentence you have conveyed a proper thought to the next person. Now your sentence has to be complete in every way. How? That you are supposed to keep in mind the 5 W's and 1 H, and there are no run-ons, or there are no loopholes between your thoughts, or your thoughts are properly connected to one another. One thought is to be followed by the other, as we had been also talking about in the previous lecture, that how parallel structures help to relate ideas or connect ideas from one paragraph to the other, and how this progression from one idea to the other is being taken. Right now let's see the next slide. Are my language conventions correct? While editing, also see that your spellings, your grammar, your punctuation, all these conventions are clear and they are correct on your writing paper. Now while editing, also see that I have had at least 2 people edit my paper. Now try to find out those people who are honest and who are reliable. Then give your paper for editing to them, because you were already done with your draft number 1. Now that you are doing with your editing, make sure that you let 2 people look at your paper thoroughly, so that they can tell you if there were any grammatical mistakes, if you left anything labeled, or anything like that. Anything missing is not there. Sentences and thoughts should be complete. The logical progression of ideas and thoughts in your essay should be in a chronological order. So everything that you were supposed to keep in mind is to transmit it to the next person, and they are going to report back to, because you have already skipped some lines between, so they can help you write their comments there. Now let's move on to the next slide and talk about editing others' work. Now how editing others' work help you understand that what were the flaws and what were the loopholes in your personal writing. This will definitely help you, because once you are going to look at any other paper, they will pointing out their errors will help you, that if I did that or if I did that too, this too, in my paper. So this is going to be a best practice for once you decide writing or editing others' paper. So that is going to help you, and that's going to help you make sure to check for the same items you did while editing your own work. As I said earlier, that this is a very common practice. People exchange their papers, and people exchange their ideas with each other as to see if they have missed up any information, or if they have missed out any editing marks or any conventions, language conventions, or if they have left any loopholes in their work quality. While writing and editing, you are going to make sure that you are going to see that if you have inserted everything. Now that inserting has something to do with inserting the headings, inserting the page numbers, inserting the table of contents. If you are writing a report or anything that was to be inserted in your paper, you are supposed to do that thoroughly. Then intend and shuffle. You shuffle your paragraphs from one place to the other and from other place to the one, because you are looking at that I have the chronological order of, or the organization in a such way that the ideas which are supposed to come first, they are coming on the first place, and those ideas which were not very important, or which were the usually kind of elaborations of the topic, you are going to insert them later. Then you are going to check for the spelling. Maybe if you are writing by hand, you are supposed to look at it thoroughly, or if you have done it on the computer is efficient enough to tell you that these are the spelling mistakes that you have done. But computer itself is a machine, so you are going to definitely recheck, because sometimes spelling is written as smelling, like SPELLING, and sometimes it's written SMELLING. So that is going to be an error. That is you are going to be check for, because computer does not know that what word you wanted to select and what you have written. So he is never going to report. You are going to see that if I have written any spelling or smelling mistakes. Then those ideas which you find irrelevant, you are going to delete them, and those ideas which you think are very important, like headings, or maybe the major headings, or some words which we want to put stress on, if there are any acronyms or abbreviations being used, you are supposed to put them in caps. Now your writing has come a very long way, isn't it? After fixing the error, you may either choose to type your writing or handwrite it on the paper. Now once you are writing on the very writing stage, you are going to decide either you want to write it with your hand or you want to write it on computer, like type it on computer. This is what is going to be your choice. Now let's get to our rewriting stage, that we are going to talk about that how to give the final touches to your work. Now during your rewriting stage, you are going to decide that either you want to give your piece of paper handwritten or you want to give your piece of paper typed on the computer. Now if you are typing on the computer, you are going to make sure that you have a specific time. You are going to sign up on the computer on a specific time, and then you are going to get on the computer and get your work typed. Be sure to reread your work once you are working on the computer, because spell check is not always reliable. That I have already explained to you. Look in your writing folder for requirements when typing your work. Now you are going to also check it out in your writing folder for the requirements, if there were any during you are typing your work. Now if you are handwriting your work, or you are going to give the hard copy handwritten to someone of the work that you are doing, if you are given a certain type of paper to write on, make sure you have it. Now if your teacher tells you that I want it on the plain paper, or maybe paper with thin lines, or maybe papers with thick lines, any instruction that has been communicated to you by your supervisor, you are going to stick to that. There should be no errors in your work. It is all mistakes so that you cannot see them. Maybe if you are writing with the ball pen or the pen, you have the option of using the removers, ink removers, and then also you have the option of removing removing them with the blancos, whiteners, or anything like that. Use your best handwriting. Now the selection of the best handwriting is also very important. Try to write as neat as you can. And now the best handwriting has to do with the best joining writing or best plain writing, Arial or Times Roman. That has something to do with the visibility, or as your words are visible enough to be read by any other person. Be sure to reread your work before turning it in. Once you are done with your complete handwriting, you are supposed to reread that for checking out the grammatical, punctuation mistakes, spelling mistakes. You may also type your work if you would like. Now there is no hard and fast rule for that. Handwriting work would be very appreciated other than the typed work, because in typed work you have the margin of organizing it and then formatting it and then editing it, but in the handwriting work sometimes you don't have that margin. So there is not going to be any hard and fast rule for that. Now let's conclude the 3 steps, but definitely we have road to go on. We will talk about so many things, and we are also going to have an exercise of pre-writing, writing and rewriting stage. Now whatever you write and how you write are very important. Now whatever you have written, whatever thoughts you have written and how you have written is very important thing. Take the necessary time to revise, edit and proofread your writing. Now whatever you have written on the piece of paper was a very valuable thing, because that was your something that was coming within you, and you have written and you have given it a very special time. So you are going to give it some more special time by revising it, by editing it and by proofreading it. Students often prepare a draft and then submit it. It is preferred that once you prepare your draft number 1, that is your writing stage, once you are done with your brainstorming or unearthing ideas or the pre-writing invention techniques, you make your first draft, that is your writing stage, and you give that first draft to your teacher, your supervisor, your friend, to make sure that whatsoever you have written was complete. Or maybe you can share it with your partner and see partner's paper, and then that is also going to help you see that what I have missed out and what extra information I have inserted in. Now you must take the time to revise it in and proofread your writing. Now once that you have made the final draft and even you are done with your finishing touches, take time to proofread it, because your writing did not take any short time. That was done in a very in a longer span of time, and you have given your hard work to it. So you are going to proofread that as to make sure that there was no mistake in it, and your paper was the best of all. Now once you are done with your writing, try to reread the paragraph you wrote without going through the process and compare to the processed one. Now there was one paragraph earlier, maybe in your back times you have written. Compare that very paragraph with the new one that you have written by following this writing process. How are they, or how do they differ? Do they look different? You will find it once you are going to compare that, and which one is better, you would see that too. I'm sure that you will find the second one, which was written with the process, better than the first one, because your thoughts will be organized, your punctuation and grammatical errors will be clear, every thought, every single thought will be there that you wanted to put on the piece of paper, and so on and so forth. If the process paragraph is better, which phase of the process helped you most? So these 4 answers you are supposed to answer yourself, and you are going to see this is going to help you that why the processed piece of paper is better than that one in which you did not follow any process. So you are going to compare both of them, and which part of pre-writing, writing and rewriting helped you most to develop your thoughts and organize them in a better way. So this is how you are going to do the comparison of 2, and this is going to help you see that which paper or which piece of paper was better than the other. Now I have another painting for you, as I'm very fond of looking at the paintings and these kind of stuff, the nature stuff, that is a practical demonstration of what is within you. Writing has something to do with the same thing, because that is the expression, the internal expression of the writer, as the painter paints the writer, right? So you are going to be the best writer. Those who cannot draw anything, they should know that how to write anything, because both of them, they are the productive skills, so they are going to help you. Now you have another painting of the Grant Wood's American Gothic. You can look at the face of the man, and you can also look at the face of the women, and then there is a sign that he is holding in his hand, and there is a building in the background. And look at the colors and brush strokes, and hair and hands and lips and eyes and everything. So look at everything, and we are going to discuss and we are going to write something following our writing process. Now pick up your pen and pick up a piece of paper, and the picture is right in front of you. Look at it thoroughly for 2 minutes, and then we are going to see that how and what you are supposed to write while we are going to discuss or convert or express that very picture into words. Picked up? I hope now you have your writing papers and pens with you. Now let's move on that what you are supposed to write and how you are supposed to write. American Gothic, the painting was the name of the painting was American Gothic, and we are writing as a process exercise. Look carefully at the picture that you have done before, provided of American Gothic, the famous painting by artist Grant Wood. He lived in 1892 till 1942. Notice the details and the mood of the composition. Now prepare to use the 4 processes steps to write about the painting. Of course, planning, that is pre-writing, then drafting, editing and revising, that is writing, and finishing, that is something you're rewriting. Now planning and shaping, that is your pre-writing. Use single words or phrases to describe the following aspects of the painting. Now as you are brainstorming, or maybe you are writing freely, you are going to pick up one word for, or one word that best explains the following situations or the following aspects, like the background, the sky, house and shed, people, the two people, the male person and the female, both of them, their facial expressions, their hair, the male, he hadn't had any hair, and the female, she had nicely tied up hair and neatly combed. Then look at their eyes. There was some kind of anguish and anger coming from the female's eyes, and the male, he looked stern, and he was looking at something. And then the hand, only the hand of the male person was visible, and he was holding something in his hand. How are the people similar? Do they look similar to each other? What can be the relation between them? Then how do they look different, and what is their relationship to each other? So this is what you are supposed to discuss in your pre-writing details. Review your list of details. Now review again the list that you have made. Answer this question in a single complete sentence. Now that you have the collection of the words describing each one of them, the background, the sky, the house, the shed, people, their facial expressions, hair, eyes, hands, and lips, nose, the colors on their face, and how the people are similar, what can be the relation, or are they look or do they look different. And now try to answer this single question that is written at the end of the slide. What central impression do the details seem to convey? Like there is a man and a woman who are standing in front of a house, the man is holding something in his hand. The female, she looks some kind of angry, and the male person, he looks stern, and he's looking at something. So how would you define the situation, and what central impression, what is the impression that you get from your this painting, or the first impression that you get from looking at this painting? You can take help from all those words that we have used on the pre-writing paper. Now you are going to make your draft number 1. Write your sentence out at the top of new sheet of the paper. Now whatsoever you have explained the central impression of the painting in your pre-writing, on your pre-writing paper, you are going to write that on the top of the new sheet, that is your writing paper. Write a draft of a paragraph supporting your sentence. Now whatsoever you have written, the one sentence that you have written about the central impression of the painting, you are going to elaborate that with the help of supporting details. They can be 1, they can be 2, or they can be 3, but not more than that. Include as many details from your list as you can. So taking the help of the list that you have made in your pre-writing stage, you can take help from that, and then you can make your draft number 1. Now you are going to revise your paper. That is going to help you make a better organization, and then you would move on to the editing stage. Detail that how have the details you mentioned help create the central impression of the painting. Like whatsoever details of hands, the eyes, the facial expressions, the relation between the two people, whatsoever, the hair, the sky, the background, everything is going to whatsoever details you have written in your pre-writing paper, are they going to help you once you were, or did they help you provide the accurate details that you wanted to provide in your first draft? Organization, is your paragraph organized? Does those thoughts which were supposed to come earlier, they are coming earlier, and those thoughts which are supposed to come kept for the end, they are still on hold? Does it support your core sentence? Now you are going to see that too. Are your ideas coherent or connected, or are your supporting details related to each other, or they are, one is moving in the east and the other one is moving in the west? So that should not happen. Word choice, are your words precise? Replace any fuzzy words with more precise ones. So if you are using any long phrases or any redundant categories to explain anything, you are going to reduce that to only one word. So these are some things, the details, the organization, and word choice, while you are supposed to see when you are revising your material. During your editing, you are going to review your paragraph for correctness of the sentence structure, grammar, and punctuations. Make as many changes in your paper as you can, as to make sure that you are done with your editing. Then we will move on to our last stage, that is finishing. So you are going to see that if you have labeled everything in your paper, if you have inserted everything in your paragraph, if you have not missing out any information, are the ideas connected, if you are leaving some space for others to comment on, and so on and so forth. So everything is supposed to be kept in mind while you are using all the stages of writing process while reviewing this painting. So I hope you are going to solve this exercise better. Now during the writing process, you are supposed to remember that every writing assignment is a practice for the next one, so that you are done with the first practice assignment of writing a paragraph about this very painting. You are going to see that this writing material will help you once you are going to write any other material about any other painting or any topic that you were assigned to write on. So that's kind of a progression towards writing process that you are on your early stage. As we will keep moving on, and in every class I will try that we solve one exercise, so that by the time we will be solving our last exercises, you would be perfect enough not to revise your or edit your work for everything that you had been doing right now. Now writing takes some time, of course. This is your first draft that you have made, your first paragraph that you are writing, so you are not going to worry about that this does not come out as appealing as you wanted, because writing takes a lot of time. So you are not going to get fed up with that, and you are going to be energetic with what you want to write next. Go through every step of the process. Now you are going to, if you are going to stick to all the process steps, that was pre-writing, writing, and rewriting, and then you are going to see the planning and shaping. As I said in the beginning of the lecture, that starting from the raw material to the shape, and then finally you polish your material. If you are going to stick to all those steps, that's going to give you a better product at the end. Focus on your ideas first. whatsoever idea you have about the topic, you are going to focus on it first, and then you are going to start writing anything. Focus on grammar and spelling last. Now the first thing that you are supposed to do is that all the thoughts and ideas are there on the paper, and then in the end you are going to see that they are grammatical, and yes, the spellings are correct and the punctuations are correct, and so on and so forth. Get feedback from your peer or your friend, instructor or a tutor. This will help you get a proper feedback about your writing material, because you will decide that they will help you give a proper and the positive or the negative critical feedback, so that you can produce a better piece of paper next time. Now we will not exhaust every aspect of the writing process. We are not going to skip anyone, or we are not going to get bored of anyone as to omit some of the steps of the writing process and stick to some because we like them. No, we are going to have every step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Usually they are 3: pre-writing, writing and rewriting, but yes, they have got their sub steps, so you are going to stick to each one of them as not to omit or lose any information that you wanted to put on your paper. We will focus on overall process of writing, so you are going to do that. We will not focus on rules. We will instead focus on strategies. So forget about the rules. Focus on your strategies, and you are not going to skip out any details in your writing while you are writing any piece of paper. Now that was all about today's lecture. The references are all available and all visible on the slide. That was very nice discussing with you the writing process and the writing techniques. I hope you have learned about the pre-writing, writing and rewriting stage, and I hope that you are now that we will say goodbye to each other, you are going to start solving your exercise, and you are going to work on the painting and write a paragraph, and then compare your paragraph with the previous one as to see that which one was the better. So I hope you are going to enjoy your writing. Till next time, by the time we meet for our next lecture, take care and have a very nice day. Thank you.